You are listening to the Home Service Business Success Show. We have been accelerating the path of success for home service companies since 2011.
Social media is not just running ads. It's truly about creating content.
What social can do is bring life to your business. Your culture brings life internally. It's like opening a doorway to that culture and to who you are.
My country boy is going to come out again. I love the.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Home Service Business Success Show. I'm your host, Kenny Chapman, along with Chris Crew. How are you, my man?
I'm better than fantastic, as Kenny has said in the past. I'm going to go dig in a deep file. Somebody said this, Kenny, if I was doing any better, they'd franchise me.
There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. You've got a daughter that's about to turn 18, and she might call that a dad joke. We're going to roll on with that. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about dad jokes, but what's funny is some of these dad jokes could be valuable online, and we are here to talk today about social media mastery, Chris. And I still believe that it's a platform that's talked about some and utilized some, but I think there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of, there's a lot of noise out there around it. And there's some underutilization perhaps of strategy and commitment and consistency when it comes to social media. And so, with all the clients that you're exposed to and the coaches at Blue Collar, what are you seeing for some things we can share with our listeners and viewers here today?
I'm going to go high level first. Number one, it's the most undervalued marketing platform there is, social media. The number one challenge that contractors face with social media is not everybody is good at being the face and being out there and doing those things, because video and visuals are really important. So just understand that social media is not just running ads. It's truly about creating content that people can engage with. And don't immediately everybody went to Facebook and Instagram, but let's not overlook the second largest search platform called YouTube. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the, obviously 14 years ago, when I launched Blue Collar, I launched it with video training and video, marketing and different things like that. And I've believed in video for a very long time. And obviously now it's a time where that's what it's about. But I'm a plumbing company. I'm an electrical service business. And I don't think that, I'm not an influencer, thank goodness. Right. But I'm out here doing these, the jobs and answering phones. And I think sometimes we forget that, because of the influencer movement and somebody holding up a package of shampoo or something, a bottle of shampoo, and Kim Kardashian saying this is the best shampoo. And that's what we think about social media. And that's not the reality. The reality is people want to see you walking through your call center and going, "Oh, hey, good morning, Chris. Oh, hey, good morning, Susie," and sharing a quick plumbing tip perhaps. And there's all kinds of different ways to bring what social can do is bring life to your business. Your culture brings life internally, but this gives a window. It's like opening a doorway to that culture and to who you are, with a platform for viewers to really consume, where I want to make sure you heard what Chris said. It's not just about running ads on Facebook. It's not just about showing up and saying, "Hey, buy this, that's not why people are on social media."
I kind of, maybe I break it down into two things. I feel like social media can serve multiple purposes depending on the intention that you set as an operator, or the intention you set as a human, as a person. People go to social media for information, and people also go to social media for entertainment. And when there's a good blend of entertainment, and when I use entertainment, this is not like a song and a dance, but sometimes allowing people to connect your brand to humanize your people, right? And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's what's behind the uniform, what's behind the phone, what's behind. And so when people can do that, they can connect with a brand. And
Yeah.
so you can story tell in social media, or you can be informational, giving people, to your point, Kenny, a tip about. And this is interesting to know. 85% of adults in America confirm that they use YouTube. 70% of adults in America say that they use Facebook. Let that
Mm.
just set in for a minute.
Yeah.
Because when we talk today social media, there's so many social media platforms. I'm going to recommend this today for you. Go deep rather than wide. In other
Yeah.
words, don't be on X, Instagram, Nextdoor, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Twitch, every new TikTok. Try to get really deep in just a couple, because you're going to find that to really get good at it, it takes time. It takes time to create good content
Yeah.
that's engaging. And I'm going to go to something that I have a lot of respect for this person. I won't mention their name, but he said quantity has a quality all of its own, meaning
Mhm.
quantity of posts, not necessarily get the post perfect, make the video right, do it just this
Right.
way. Is it on brand? Is it, he was like, forget about all that. Just go start just hammering the stuff, right?
Right.
Posting consistently to create entertainment and information.
Yeah, and I think consistency is key. And we're all guilty of having the, I got a new idea, or I went to a conference, or I'm going to start doing this thing, and we come out and I'm going to post to, yeah, I heard Chris say, that quantity has a quality all of its own. I'm going to post 12 times a day from here forever. And you're not posting twice now. And so you do it and you get burned out. And all of everything we're talking about really any time on this show, but certainly today, is indicative on the size of your business, and the even beyond size of business, but the capability and quantity of resources that you
Mm,
have.
yeah.
So if you have full-time social media manager, or somebody that's constantly, this is their dedicated position, then yeah, you might have more platforms open because you can still go deeper and you can go more consistent. But for those of you that don't have that, and it's a job along with four other position agreements within the business that somebody's doing this as a part of, then you've got to start and you've got to be consistent where you are, and having some strategy and having some planning around it, and really getting committed and to it, and realizing what Chris said. I just don't want to let that slip. I want to reinforce, it's not about perfection. If in fact, we've done so much over the years and we've tested so many things, sometimes the better produced, the more professional it looks, the less it gets shared, the less it gets digested, because that's not why people are here. They just want to show up and like you said, be entertained, learn a little bit, and they want raw, they want real. They don't want all of this perfection stuff that you go to Netflix to get or whatever, right?
I would like to put a disclaimer on this statement. I've
Uh-oh.
made this.
Uh-oh, hang on.
Disclaimer. I made the statement. Don't be on more than two. Get really deep in that. That's if, and this is the reason why the disclaimer. Do not go. Chris just said that I need to fill in the blank, which
Yeah,
is we have a full time social media person at Blue Collar. I don't recommend that you go do that without a plan. By the way, and by the way,
yeah,
that does work because of what I'm about to share with you. Creating engagement with your post when people comment, then creating a conversation in that. Creating the conversation on the post that got the comment to reply to the comment. If you can strike up that conversation, you'd be surprised what happens in that platform, because just like Google, social medias also have their algorithms.
absolutely they do. And they continue to change them, and they continue to evolve, and all those different things. And I think that's, really what we're looking for is engagement with customers. We're looking for loyal fans is what we're attempting to do. And we see the better, I'll say it this way, for as somebody who's shot hundreds of hours of media content in my career. When you drop trying to be perfect, and when you just get real, and when you flub up, and when you make mistakes, and you just like that, people aren't expecting, like for me, I was expected to be a professional speaker a lot of the times when I would shoot posts. That's not the case for you. You're a contractor. People aren't looking for that. I think of a few of our clients over the years that have had posts go viral in different types of things. And one of our electricians that was out and they were smashing like circuit boards or panels. Remember that? Then they were just like, oh, and it was like they had I remember when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, they're smashing that, whatever it is. I'm not an electrician. I don't know. And it was like just this shock and awe kind of a thing. And they got so much mileage out of that. And people jump on and comment, and you're communicating through your brand. You're showing people that you're real. Remember, people are afraid of contractors still in this day and age. And when you're given a little look, it's like, hey, we're real. Yeah, we've got a brand. Yeah, but we're people behind the brand. To your point, Chris, like we're just people. This is a company, but it's made up by a bunch of normal humans or abnormal humans in some cases, just doing our thing, and share that stuff out there.
Don't believe that social media is a waste of time. It's only a waste of time if you're trying to pass time by consuming content on it.
Yeah, it can be if
It
you're for you.
yeah, if you're just there to pass time, you can get sucked in. It's the worst, Kenny. I'll have family and friends that'll send me a text message. This is the world we live in. I'm not on TikTok, by the way. I'm not a TikToker, but my kids are. And every now and then, my kids or other people, they'll send me TikTok videos via text, and then I'll watch it. And TikTok's got an amazing algorithm, right, by the way, because as soon as that video's over, another one pops up, and it almost always catches my attention. I'm like, oh, well, next thing I know, I'm zoned. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I see where this is going. Turn this off right now.
Right,
Turn it off right
right.
now. But to that point, it's an amazing attention tool. And if we can be really consistent with that by being entertainment and information based, we'll see this sometimes in our post, Kenny. Like we make post, whether it's an ad we're running. By the way, I don't want to get in the weeds of this, but there's a difference. Just like Google, there's paid ads, and then there's SEO. So your posting and things like that is more of your SEO, if you would, right? It's the organic stuff. But then there's paid ads that you can run. So I think it's super important, Kenny, that when we talk, that we understand demographics, because we'll see things like on our post, another person will see the ad and then just comment with another person's name by tagging them on the ad. Now they get served that ad to go look at it. And that person was saying, hey, I think this is valuable. You should check it out. That's what they're saying without saying that. So your business can do the same thing. I want to pivot for a minute and let's jump into demographics. As with any marketing, the more bang for the buck is finding out, are my customers here? And if you'll allow me, Kenny, my country boy is going to come out again.
Here we
I
go.
love to.
Get
Yeah, here
ready,
we go.
ladies and
Le-
gentlemen.
I love to fish. I love to fish. I love to fish. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like to fish. I like to catch, because
Yeah, there you
when
go.
I
There's a
when I was
difference.
younger, we did a lot of fishing, right? And so what we learned is, and the story that I tell you is, whether we're fishing for catfish, and once again, I'm originally from North Georgia, so freshwater was where I fished then. Catfish, brim, crappie, bass. That was kind of the thing, right? It's like different lures at different times of day, at different structures, and different techniques. I bet you've never caught a catfish on a rattle trap before. Yeah, well, you can if you understand fishing and you know where the catfish are and what you got to do. I said that to say this: marketing is just like fishing. You've got to
Mhm.
know what fish you're looking for, because that will then determine what bait you're using and how you deploy. So, just like social media, you've got to start with, who is my ideal customer? Who are they? Get really
That's
clear on
right.
the demographics of your customer, and then go to social media platforms to understand what the demographics are that consume that social media. I can give you an example, Kenny. Like, it's a known fact that more females consume from Instagram than Facebook, according to studies. I don't
Mhm.
I'm not out validating that, so don't quote and say, "Chris said." I'm just telling you according to research study, it's more females are on Instagram than Facebook. So, if I'm after females for a Kenny and I, you and I are in a coaching program, and there's some amazing entrepreneurs in there. And there was a lady
Mhm.
that had a product that was for females. And she was like, "We've tested and 100% Instagram outperforms Facebook 10 to 1 with my product."
Mhm.
So
By
this
testing.
validates we've got to find our
Yes.
customers on social media, because if
Yeah,
not, it becomes a waste.
and that's the thing is I think that too often because think about, it's an interesting one where you're using a product for a personal gain all day, every day in some people's cases, but you're on these platforms yourself, perhaps. And then you're turning around and trying to put your business hat on and go market to them. This is very different than maybe I would use the yellow pages back in the day, or I would listen to the radio and get served ads, and then I'm going to go create a radio ad. This is a very different world now because you're a user, but you're not your demographic. And so sometimes you don't go as deep where I knew I wasn't my demographic if I'm building a yellow page ad. I know I'm not my demographic if I'm building a radio script. However, I think I might be my demographic if my kids are on TikTok. So I'm going to go get on TikTok. That's not where the home buyer is. Instagram is still, some of the stats say it pretty heavy up to around 29 years old. But then beyond, and so, yes, there are some Gen Zs and Gen Ys buying homes, but that may not be where that demographic lives that you really want to reach and really want to get to. And so I think it goes to that because guess what? Chris and I both eat fish. I like to fish too. And I go fish at the Chula Seafood Market at Thompson Peak and Hayden. And I go in there on Wednesdays when they drop smoked salmon, and I'm doing some fishing, Chris. I'm not messing with a lure or a boat or a and so that's it. You got to know your demographic. If you're going to sell fish to Chris or Kenny, you got to know you're selling some bait to Chris, you're selling an end product to Kenny, but we both want what we want. And I
Yeah, here's the
think that
funny thing though. You've taught me, Chris, enjoy the experience. And so our
that's right.
experiences that we're looking for are too different. You're like, I don't really want to go to the process to getting the fish outside of driving. Like,
That's
I can
right.
get
That's
there and
right.
stand in line. Chris is a little bit more different in his experience, but it goes back, Kenny. At the end of the day, same result. You and I are both getting the fish, right? So
Exactly. And
marketing is
we're getting it the way that we want to get it. And I think that's the key is get out of your own way of, really if you can take anything from today, make sure you get super hyper focused on your avatar, your specific client on social, because it might be a little different on social to make sure that you can go reach them and create engaging content that they want to consume.
I'm gonna drop 3 things before we bounce in this episode. Number 1, don't underestimate the power of visuals, videos,
Mhm.
pictures, shorts,
Yes,
those things. So not just words, right?
right.
I've done this before. I've made a post, and I'm not a self-proclaimed social media expert by no means. In my personal life, I'm probably what they would consider a little more social, a lot less media. If I could, I'm way more
Yeah,
social than I am media. But I've posted pictures of my dog, but ask a question that has nothing to do with my dog, and you'd be surprised how much more attention that gets than
so
just the
true.
words. And I'll tell them, sorry, picture was to grab your attention. And this happens a
Yeah,
lot, right? Because our
right.
our brains are firing on all these
Yeah, we're
cylinders.
grabbing.
And so
Yep.
it's just words. Just keep scrolling. It just keeps scrolling. Oh, look, there's a picture of a dog. Who can't stop and look at a dog, especially when it's Rocco, right? Uh,
Rocco, come
yeah.
on, man. Yeah.
Number 1, focus on visuals. Number 2, be consistent. Don't do it
Yes.
no on again, off again, no on again, off again. And then the next thing I'll encourage you to do is make sure that you have a way that whether you're using your agency or you're doing it in-house, and there's ways to do this, we're not get super tactical, but you've got to be able to quantify if you're spending money, what is your ROI on this? Like once
Yes.
again, I said it's the most undervalued, but if you're going to put money in it, make sure that that money is actually giving you an ROI on that. So it goes back to budgeting and tracking. And then here's the bonus. Do not overlook the value. If you are a contractor in a market that is not like we're in 7 different markets, it's still, you can do it, but this is where the playing field gets really level for small to mid, and it's next door. And I'm not talking about advertising with them. And there's value in that. I'm talking about getting there and getting homeowners talking about you and your company and tagging you. You're going to, because that's
Yes.
that whole referral mindset on social media.
And I think that's the key, where people when we got a second place in California for a while, like Christy joined some local groups there. And if we needed a service provider, that's where she's going to find it because there's too much noise. Not like, so that's another one of those things to just keep in mind. And Chris, as the landscape changes in the home service business world rapidly, and there's a little uncertainty in the streets right now, that the time we're recording this, it's about getting back to basics. And that's all we're encouraging you to do. Get back to your target avatar, choose a couple platforms, make sure you're creating visuals that pique interest and just consistently rolling through and just keep on focused implementation. You're playing a long game. You've got to continue to endure and you're going to start seeing results, period.
Yeah. Super grateful to be able to talk a little bit about social media, tactical ideas. Don't jump immediately in to say, oh, we're not doing social media. We need to do that, where it might not be what you need to do. So don't take today's episode as
Yeah.
a prescription. Take it as
Yeah,
an
great.
opportunity, right? Look at it as
Yeah.
is this an opportunity that we're not leveraging, or maybe we're using it, but we're not using it correctly. And maybe today was just to get you to thinking, not to say if you're not on social media, you're losing. That's not the statement.
Every episode, everything we do, all we're doing is meeting you where you are, get you to think about what's best for you. What's the strategy that helps you fulfill your vision? And we know social media can be a part of it, doesn't have to be, but it can be. So we're so grateful to be here with you. Thank you for listening to the show. Please refer it, please like it, please share it. And until we talk, make it a better than fantastic week. We'll see you soon, everybody.